Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Elite Landscapes Life Stories. Today we're going to talk about all this thick, tall spring grass that we're all out here fighting against every day. You know, that rain, that wonderful, amazing rain that we all live by and suffer through this time of year. Yeah, we're going to talk about how to maintain this tall grass to make less of a mess, to take you less time to clean up, and the strategies that I go through to accomplish this. I have two amazing tips that are going to help you on these thick properties that you know you're going to have to double cut as soon as you pull up to the property. That'll help save you time and energy, and it'll make your yards just bling with stripes, just like this one. So let's just get into it here. Pulling up to a small section, I do not have a chute blocker on my Skag. I don't need one, alright? If you check out the method to my madness here, and remember one golden rule. This golden rule is crucial to everybody out here. And if you have new employees, you must repeat this to them every single day, probably 4 or 5 times at least. And if you're new out here doing this stuff, it's a good reminder. Grass goes into grass, always. It's a simple statement, and you might just be wondering, what do you mean, Randall? Grass goes into the grass, always. Look, your first cut on these thick, plush yards does not matter about your stripe lines, your patterns, your beautiful designs that we're trying to accomplish at the end results. The first cut is simply to control this mess that we're all dealing with out here in this spring madness. It's always thick. Most of the time it's going to be wet. So the less mess you make out here on pavers, like the one you see me working around, mulch beds, like you see here in front of these boxwoods, driveways, roads, sidewalks, the less mess you make with the initial cut of this tall, nasty grass, the better off you are altogether, time-wise, and looks. Alright? This mower will clean off these grass clippings because I've been corralling them in one direction, as you've been watching. Corral them over here, a few swipes back and forth, and all that will be dispersed back into the grass. Alright? You'll see that I could go in that field across over there. I could do figure eights. I could do peace signs. I could cut squirrely whirlies, circle cuts, like an old man on a tractor mower, you know? Your first cut does not matter. I can't stress that enough to you guys. Your first cut is your control cut to not make huge messes. After that, your second cut, come out here and do your stripe, just like this. If you want to double that beautiful stripe at the end to make it really stand out, I do highly suggest that. Just one more pass takes less than a minute or two in most places. So from now on, when we have new employees and when we're approaching these thick, nasty yards that we know we're going to double cut, we're going to think about 3 things. Alright, number 1, grass goes into grass. Number 2, your first cut is your control cut. You're controlling this nasty mess so you have less time and cleanup at the end of the time. Alright? It's up to us out here to save ourselves as much time as possible and still do the job to perfection. These little tips will help us all be more successful out here with this thick, nasty springtime yards. Now, the third thing is a striping cut. Okay, your striping cut needs to be a manicured result. Whether you stripe it once or stripe it twice, after that controlled cut, that's up to you and how the yard and the grass looks. Is it telling you that it would look better with another roll right across that white line back and forth real quick? Do it to it. Alright, here's the big tip. That tree ring right there, boom. Did you see that? Alright, I don't have a shoot blocker, like I said. That tree ring would normally get caked with tall grass because it's been 14 days since I've been in these properties. Yeah, it's thick and tall and nasty. So what you saw me do, I came up to that tree ring. I stopped before I got to it. I let all that thick grass spit out the chute before it got to the mulch. And then when I accelerated past it, the velocity deck and any other deck, doesn't matter. If it's a deck, it takes a couple seconds, like that, before the grass actually shoots out once it starts cutting. So the quick movement past that mulch ring gave me time to not spit it full of grass. Now I will admit there's a little bit of grass floating around these beds right here, but this cul-de-sac is on the list to do a complete mulching job next week on all 3 mansions. 2 tractor trailer loads of mulch. Yeah, so you'll definitely get footage and videos of that. But this video, we got grass goes into grass, control cut, striping cut, and pause and accelerate before you go past a tree ring. Hey, y'all be good, be kind, love each other. Elite Landscapes. Peace.